Heard the name Blu Cantrell lately? Odds are, unless you were glued to an early 2000s radio countdown, the answer is no. Yet in the summer of 2001, her breakout single Hit 'Em Up Style, Oops, rocketed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, snagged 2 Grammy nominations, and overnight turned Connecticut-born Tiffany Cobb into R&B's newest powerhouse. Fast forward a dozen years, and the same singer is spotted sprinting barefoot through a Santa Monica street at 2 in the morning, shouting that someone had pumped poison gas into her hotel room. Police hustled her in for a wellness check, tabloid headlines wrote themselves, and almost instantly, she vanished again. Only this time, the silence felt engineered, as if an invisible hand pressed mute. So tonight, we shake loose the dust on chart records, sift through late-night whispers, and tiptoe around a conspiracy so sprawling it dares to rewrite the Carter family tree. Because the deeper we dig, the harder it is to tell coincidence from calculation, and somewhere in that distance lies the truth of why one of R&B's fastest risers crashed without a sound. Up next, the breakout year that put Blu on every tour poster from Miami to Munich. Wendy never pulled punches. Mid-interview, she leaned forward and fired, "Ever kiss Jay-Z romantically?" Blu blushed, giggled, and let the silence linger. No denial, no confirmation. Just a Cheshire smile that wound gossip blogs into a frenzy. Insiders whispered about late-night studio lockouts and island getaways paid in cash. Most called it harmless chatter. But a smaller circle claimed the chemistry felt combustible, especially as Beyoncé prepared to step out of Destiny's Child with a meticulously planned solo rollout. Whether fling or friendship, the optics were messy for a brand built on polish. And then came a single giggle on Wendy Williams' sofa that detonated 1,000 headlines. Wendy Williams has never been shy about sharp questions. Mid-interview, she clasped her hands, leaned forward, and fired the line that launched a gossip wildfire. "Ever kiss JC romantically?" Blu's cheeks flushed, she gave a quick, nervous laugh, and let silence linger like a dare. No denial, no confirmation. Just a Cheshire Cat grin that wound every entertainment blog into a frenzy by lunch. Insiders whispered about late-night studio lockouts, last-minute flight upgrades, and island getaways paid in cash. Most staffers chalked it up to harmless chemistry, but a smaller circle insisted the sparks felt combustible, especially with Beyoncé quietly plotting her post-Destiny's Child debut under a microscope of meticulous brand management. Messy optics, a veteran publicist warned, have a way of disappearing before breakfast, especially when power couples are in the mix. For Cantrell, the publicity blitz was a double-edged sword. Name recognition skyrocketed, but so did scrutiny. The question was no longer just about her voice or her sales. Now every red carpet pose fed speculation about a behind-the-scenes triangle. And that speculation set the stage for one of the most abrupt slowdowns in recent label history. Cantrell's sophomore LP Bittersweet 2003 upped the vocal ante and paired her with dancehall heavyweight Sean Paul on a track that oozed Caribbean swagger. Yet by release week, it seemed the label that once showered her with promo dollars was pulling back. Marketing budgets shrank, regional radio tours were quietly canceled, and big box retailers cut end cap displays to a single row. Then came the quiet earthquake. Arista Records chose not to renew her contract, news that surfaced the same quarter. Jay-Z accepted the Def Jam presidency. Years later, Cantrell would recount being steered toward a trusted entertainment lawyer, only to discover he also worked for the label. "They took what was mine," she said, alleging a royalty split she dubbed daylight robbery. Around that time, R&B firebrand Jaguar Wright started going live on social platforms, naming what she viewed as systemic blackballing of inconvenient voices. Blu, she claimed, hadn't faded. She'd been airbrushed out to clear the runway for a pre-picked queen. Industry execs dismissed Wright's monologues as sensational, yet private booking agents quietly acknowledged that Cantrell's radio freeze-out was unusually swift. But erasure wasn't complete until the world began questioning Blu's sanity. That challenge arrived on a warm September night in coastal California. September 3rd, 2014. A passerby spots a barefoot woman sprinting down Santa Monica's 23rd Street, pleading that invisible gas is filling her hotel room. The woman is Cantrell. Police respond, conduct a wellness check, and transport her for psychological evaluation. Standard protocol when someone seems frightened and at risk. Within minutes, TMZ blares the headline. By sunrise, news tickers worldwide reduce the saga to one-hit wonder meltdown, but context evaporates in sensational news cycles. Absent from the narrative, the decade-long paper trail of gutted contracts, mysteriously canceled bookings, and whispers that deals collapsed only when certain names were mentioned in negotiations. Fans who spin "Oops" and on nostalgic playlists wonder aloud, was this a mental health crisis, or a panicked escape from something she feared would never be public? Either way, the unstable label stuck, locking her out of talk show couches and complicating any future press. Yet the Santa Monica incident sparked an unintended aftershock. It reignited a conspiracy many had filed away as internet folklore. Enter the theory linking Blu's silence to one of pop culture's most recognizable toddlers. Shortly after Beyoncé revealed her pregnancy in 2011, a video clip of her maternity dress folding oddly went viral, fueling talk, never proven, that a surrogate carried the child. Online sleuths then noticed a timeline quirk. Cantrell's career halts in the mid-2000s. 8 years later, Jay-Z and Beyoncé welcome a daughter named Blue Ivy Carter. Coincidence? Some insisted the name was a subtle nod, part tribute, part cover-up, to a singer who, rumor claims, either bore Jay an earlier child or faced heavy pressure to terminate a pregnancy. The hypothesis remains firmly in the fan fiction camp. No substantiating documents have ever surfaced, and the Carter family dismisses the story outright. Still, secrecy around NDAs, private birthing suites, and bulletproof image control keeps oxygen in the fire. Reddit threads overlay Blu Cantrell's cheekbones onto Blue Ivy's school photo dimples. TikTok side-by-sides rack up millions of speculative views. Family friends roll their eyes but seldom offer on-the-record refutations. And Blu's story isn't the only thread woven into a broader tapestry of sudden musical silences. Supporters of the theory highlight a roster of women whose careers dimmed just as Beyoncé's solo era exploded. Mia drifted from Grammy mainstay to indie tour work. Tierra Marie's much-touted debut cooled quickly after gossip sites linked her to Hove. Stylist Kathy White, rumored pregnant by Jay-Z, passed away one day before an alleged expose. Even Aaliyah's tragic 2001 plane crash surfaces in conspiracy circles as the moment R&B's crown was left without a reigning superstar. Skeptics urge caution, noting the music business is ruthless. Budgets tighten, sound trends shift, and tragedies sadly happen. But believers counter that when coincidences pile high enough, you at least examine the blueprint. Was there a coordinated cabal? No hard proof says so. Yet viewed together, these abrupt stalls feed the perception that powerful gatekeepers can, intentionally or not, determine who stays in rotation and who fades into footnote status. Which brings us back to Blu Cantrell in the present day. In 2013, Cantrell popped up on an Atlanta radio morning show, dubbing herself a free agent and teasing Album 3. European showcase flyers circulated in 2015. A 2022 TikTok cameo showed her relaxed and smiling, promising she'd never stopped writing. Yet no official single has reached major DSPs. Insiders whisper that clearing old masters is a legal labyrinth. Others hint she's still bound by hush clauses. Cantrell's official stance is vague but optimistic. I'm healing. Music is my heartbeat. Industry watchers note a curious rhythm whenever Jaguar Wright drops a fresh livestream about music industry power plays, Blu's name trends, and blogs soon report receiving polite emails reminding them many allegations are unverified. No lawsuits follow, the conversation simply quiets down, as if someone dims the lights and cues the exit music. Silence, of course, is the real villain here. It stifles not only voices, but the connective tissue of history. If Cantrell's story warns us of anything, it's how quickly an unplugged microphone becomes a sealed crypt for unanswered questions. So what facts can we actually nail down? Strip away rumor fog and 3 hard truths remain. Rapid rise, Blu Cantrell climbed at warp speed, earning gold certification, Grammy nods, and robust label investment. Abrupt crash. Her mainstream momentum halted with stunning suddenness, while contractual strings converged upward to newly anointed executives. Frozen future. Every comeback attempt has been complicated by a highly publicized wellness incident that cemented an unstable tag, fair or not. Everything else, secret pregnancies, corporate intimidation, erased evidence, lives in the gray where NDAs, trauma, and social media speculation collide. Maybe Cantrell was simply another artist squeezed out by shifting radio algorithms and budget cuts. Maybe a deeper, darker story hides behind velvet ropes and red carpet smiles. Either way, Blu's silence still echoes louder than any note she ever belted. If this deep dive sparked more questions than answers, hit subscribe so you don't miss our next exposé on music industry power brokers. Drop a comment with your theory: was Blu nudged aside or just unlucky? And share the video with anyone who still belts "oops" on nostalgia night. Because sometimes the biggest mystery isn't why a star fades, it's who decided the lights should go out.